Happy holidays, everybody. This is Virgil, and today this is the Infinity Game Table. I love that. Yes. So what exactly is the Infinity Game Table? Well, let's take a look. The Infinity Game Table is a 1080 pixel, 32-inch touchscreen gaming table that also, well, let's just say doubles as a pretty sexy coffee table too. This is the screensaver you're looking at that you can just leave on, and there are a number to pick from, holidays, themes, and whatnot. But we're gonna dig in a little deeper and just show you what this thing can really do and give you my honest review after having it for a little while. In order to get the Infinity Game Table on, you'll need to have the plug plugged into the 3-prong outlet, obviously. And it comes with these two kind of sexy legs here. Do know that there are rubber feet on the bottom, so you actually can remove the legs very easily with these press buttons. And then that allows you to set the entire game table on, say, a kitchen table or something, so that anybody who wants to play games with you can obviously game. This is the home screen, and it's kind of divided into 3 sections. Here you have the games that you own. Here you have the games that you can get from the store, and here you have the games that, well, kind of promotional that they're introducing. I haven't paid for a single game yet, so all the games that you see on this side so far are the games that I've downloaded and I'm playing basically for free or, included with the cost of the table, I should say. The game table does run on Wi-Fi, and you'll be asked to set up a code. I'm Armed Pastor, feel free to jump in anytime. And you'll be able to set up a code, The game table needs to be on Wi-Fi, and one of the things that happened when I turned it on is it kept saying authorization failed. So I had to hard reset it, and you can do that using these buttons. I don't think you can see them. Yeah, it's kind of dark down here. But right on the front edge of the game table, there are volume buttons, when you hit the volume buttons, you can see the little volume bar come here, and you can turn it up and turn it down. And then there's also a power button next to it. By holding the up volume button and the power button at the same time, you can hard reset it. Once I hard reset it, it asked me to get on Wi-Fi, put it on Wi-Fi, and then it was able to authorize the table, and haven't had any problems ever since. But that's just a little something in case you have the same hiccup like I did getting it out of the box. The way it works is pretty easy. Like I said, here are the games here. So I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna tap Monopoly, and we'll jump right into Monopoly. And it takes a few seconds to load. One of the things I do like about the game is it automatically saves your game when you exit if you leave. So when we were playing Monopoly, me and my wife, when it was time for me to leave the game, I just kind of left the game. And when I came back, and I'll show you there where it says saved, you'll get this warning. And you can probably hear it a little bit. I'll turn it up so you can hear it. Yeah. You can go here to the settings. And I usually just turn the music off just because I just like the sound effects, and I don't need if I go there, I go all the way back to the dashboard. So just kind of showing you around a little bit, gonna jump back in Monopoly. So one of the things I do like is that when you exit the Monopoly game, it actually saves the game and you can pick it up where you left off. Obviously Monopoly takes a little bit of time to play. So me and my wife were playing, I was getting the better side of her, as we should say. So we ended the game and came back and played later. You simply go here in your saved games. Right now it says I have no saved games because we deleted it. But other than that, let's go in. When you go to play, I'm going to give you a heads up right here. When you go into play, there's these options that come up. And you need to make sure in all of the games that you kind of set the rules going in. So I like the classic board. If you don't do that, you'll get this busy city in the middle. You can set all kinds of stuff, mortgages. You can set it so that you don't need to buy all 3 properties or all of the color in order to put houses on there. All kinds of stuff. Do you need to go around the board so many times for certain things to happen? Just read through the rules, because once you set these and then you start the game, it kind of, what can I say? You can't change it. So you grab the piece you want. So I'll grab a dinosaur. I also thought this was pretty cool too. After everybody drags their piece to their different area, then it actually has the controls for that person in that area. So wherever you're sitting at the table, obviously 6 people here, you can play from that area. I'm gonna grab 2 here. So I'm gonna put the cat in this corner and this one in this corner, just to give you a glimpse of what it actually looks like. I love this because you don't have to count money. You don't have to worry about, losing pieces, losing cards, all those wonderful things. And here's pretty much the game right here. It tells you who's next by throwing the emblem up on the screen. So right now you can see that the cat area has the little dice in front of her, and this one, the dinosaur, does not. You can roll the dice two ways. You can actually roll it in the middle by touching right there, or if you just want to stay in your little area, you can just touch the dice right there, and you see they go. I got a 7. And then my character here, you see the gray squares, I don't know if you can see that, but it lights up to the end, and you touch the end, and then it jumps to that. I got a card, tap the card, page player $50. So then when I tap the card again, you'll see here now the option for me to pay for $50. So I'll just hit pay. And I paid this person $50. Now it's the dinosaur's turn. So I think you get the gist of it. Pretty cool. But here, let's jump to some other games just so I can show you what else this thing can do. Okay, I'm sitting sideways, but this is the basketball game. I'm gonna do the same thing before. I always turn the music off. But if you play, I'm sitting on the side, but that's good for a reason. If I go to versus, you can see I have my hoop here. They have their hoop here. We pretty much go, and there you go. And then there's different games I think you can play. If you go in the settings, and I go back to home, I can't remember how to do all of it, but at some point if I go and they go and then I go, and then I think there's a time that's going, but I don't see the timer on here. But you get the gist of what we're doing here, and the other person is playing over here, and then the rim starts moving to make it more challenging. This person, and then I guess I'm out of balls, and maybe that's how this game is being played right now. I've seen others with time, but basically giving you the gist of what this thing looks like. I want to pause here and acknowledge this. You can see tablecloths. Tablecloths are kind of cool because it allows you to actually set the game so that when you're just like leaving it as a coffee table, you can just kind of let it sit there. So if I hit this tablecloth and, oh my gosh, of course, got to go in, turn off the sound effects and the music again. Dun-dun-dun. I will say though, by the way, that this is very responsive. Like you're noticing it's catching my touches really fast. Like it's not like I have to hit like some cheap screen inside of a car. You know, sometimes the monitors in the low cars, the cheaper cars, they don't touch well. But anyway, as you can see, it could just sit like this, and it kind of has the coffee table look going on. You know what I mean? And I left it like this for a day or two just to see it. It just pretty much just kind of did its thing. If I ever want to get out, I've got a little X right here. I can put up other screensavers, and again, you can just leave it like this. I guarantee people are going to ask, what in the world is that, when they walk in and look at your Infinity game table. So kind of cool. I did, if you go here and you go to the dashboard, you can always get out and go back to the beginning. I did play my mother in Trivial Pursuit. Be careful if you ever play your mother in a game of Trivial Pursuit. I also played Scrabble. Me and my wife played some Scrabble. And Scrabble is nice, but I got to tell you, the one thing about Scrabble is you probably ask yourself, well, how is it that it operates without me seeing the other player's pieces? Which is a good question. So the Infinity table comes with a few little black cards, and I have them put away. I didn't really care for them, but they are kind of neat, I suppose. And I'm just turning the music off again just because the music is always annoying to me. And with this, it's the same thing as the Monopoly. I'm going to be the red piece. The person I'm playing is going to be the gold piece. And then we're going to start the game. So with Scrabble, they give you these little kind of tent cards. And I probably should get one. But basically, the tent card makes it so that when I hit this button right here and I make my pieces stand up, I can have a little tent card that sits here and the other people at the table can't see it. It's just a little cardboard card about 2 inches tall. And then, of course, I'm looking at my pieces. You can also tell whose turn it is because the board is going to shift automatically. So right now, because it's towards this person, they can put up a word and they have no vowels. Oh, that's terrible. So you can go here, you can hit swap, and you can grab some letters and put them over here. One thing I didn't like about Scrabble was I thought it should be touch. So I'll tell you what I mean by that in just a second. Let's swap. So now you see it's turned towards me. It's gave me the red square, the red tile to let me know it's my turn. And then I'm going to put up a word. So I'm going to put up a word like rot. Now what I mean by this is in typical games, I could tap the O, then tap the square. I tried double tapping. I tried all these things because you have to literally drag them, which is not terrible. But you know, tap would make it a lot easier. And then when you're done, you just hit this. The other cool thing I like is if you play something that's not a word, it definitely is going to let you know immediately. So now the board has automatically turned again. It's this person's turn. And let's see here what happens if I play something that's not a word, RHR, and then I'm going to hit go. Invalid word. So basically you could say that the dictionary is kind of built in. And yeah, but other than that, Scrabble worked really well. We played well. Again, don't lose pieces, none of that. So let's look at one more before we go. Before we jump in the last one, let me just kind of show you the games I've downloaded. These were all free. 4 picks words is kind of like 4 picture clues. What's the word? Checkers, a little tank game. Remember Hungry Hungry Hippo, Chutes and Ladders, Backgammon. Battleship was really pretty cool. Life, we played the memory game. At my age, man, you need to play the memory game. Guess Who, Connect 4, Candyland. As you can see, it's a lot of your favorites that you probably played as a kid. Scrabble, Sorry, Simon. Operation was interesting. Maybe we'll do that one before I go. The basketball, of course. And then these are some of the games that I haven't bought, just so that you know. There are some other games on here. Like they kind of have their generic version of Uno built in. I saw Spades. I've seen, let's see, Trouble. Trouble is free. And you can tell it's free by the download arrow. The other ones do have costs attached to them. I did see, Trivial Pursuit. Yes, of course. And, you just kind of scroll through. So there's some cool games. Whack-A-Mole, definitely fun. Played that. Yahtzee was fun. Played that. Thought it was pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, all your board game favorites are kind of built into this thing. I did try to play chess a little bit. I thought it was the view from being up above like that was just really weird to me. But I'll show you this last game here that I just think, again, is kind of neat. Of course, with the game Operation, you can't, the old game, you used to reach in there, and let me set up the sound again. The old game, you used to reach in there and you made sure you didn't touch the edges when you played the game. Well, they can't do that here. There's no edges. So what they kind of did, I thought was kind of neat. I'm going to drag my piece. So I'm going to be the red one this time and hit start. So with this one, instead of like touching the edges like in the old game with the tweezers, you have to kind of drag the piece through a maze. And as the pieces get harder, the mazes get harder. So I guess it says practice. So I'm going to attach practice. Patient, take out the ankle thing. Okay, so here's our little guy here. And here's our little x-ray. So basically, I have to take his ankle bone here, and then you have to drag it without touching the edges. And then I'm gonna touch the edge just to show you kind of what happens. See what I'm saying? So a little bit of a different spin on the game, but I thought it was pretty neat. We played it for a little while. Let's see if I can get one out here. The ankle bone apparently must be pretty complicated because this seems like a long ways to go. And so there you have it. That's the game table. Of course, anytime you want, you hit the cog, you hit the infinity sign, and you go back to the infinity game table. I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy. Follow and subscribe on my channel. I buy a lot of gadgets, and I decided, you know what, I'm just going to start sharing with the world all the funny gadgets I waste my money on. So if you want to learn from me and save some money, feel free to follow and subscribe. So what's my conclusion about the infinity game table? Well, we found it priced at about $900, and then later we found one on sale at, I won't mention the store, for about $600. In my opinion, it's probably a $500 item. $600, I could go for it. There's a lot of convenience built in. It's really cool. People always go, hey, what's that table? If you play board games, I definitely think you'll get a lot out of it. Family game night, I mean, it's a winner all day. So just a couple last minute thoughts. One, I thought the game table would be cool if it was a little more portable. It is a little bit heavy. If there was some type of bag with handles that it really conveniently went in, but with such a large screen, I'd be a little bit worried. But there is an option to put in a battery pack in the side. It's really not like a click-in battery pack. It's more like a slot that you can just kind of slide the battery pack in. I didn't get it. I didn't think it was worth it. For all, I think it was, some people said 4.5 hours of game time you can get out of the battery. So again, because it didn't feel really portable, I didn't feel like there was a need to buy the battery pack. But overall, I'm very pleased with this. And if you have a family that loves board games, check out the Infinity Game Table.